Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to move that a total provision of 100 crore 93 lakhs 47,000 under grant number 10 Major Head 2041 taxes on vehicles at page 64 of budget be reduced by to rupees 1. That is the amount of the whole grant of 100 crore 47,000 be reduced to rupee 1, sir.
Motion moved. You may now initiate discussion.
Sir, I'll be very specific regarding this motion, sir. One is the recent news. It seems yesterday the news item came that now the Airport Authority of India has moved a proposal to find another site for a greenfield project or greenfield airport, which intends to shift the current location of the airport from Umroi to another location. So I'm surprised with this new stance of the Airport Authority, when in fact based on the very submissions and the various proposals and also the clearances given by the Airport Authority of India, earlier land acquisition was made with the plans and proposals to ensure that the Umroi Airport is expanded and the runway is also given enough space for bigger flights to land. Now, the Airport Authority comes again with another proposal for finding a new airport for the state. So, a lot of resources have been spent by the Government of India and also by the state government, based on the proposal of the Airport Authority itself, to ensure that the current facility at Umroi is expanded and improved to facilitate the landing of bigger aircrafts. Now, with this new proposal, sir, I don't know when this proposal will also take place. Then we are seeing that there will be a wastage of public resources, where the current airport, which has been facilitating and ensuring that a good number of flights start landing and good number of passengers are catered to. Now there's a totally shift in the stance of the Airport Authority of India, sir. In one of the submissions that was made in the Honorable High Court, sir, a third party was requested to ensure that there will be a technical report based on the current sites in and around Umroi Airport to facilitate the expansion of the runway. Whether such kind of exercise was done, sir, that is my submission, to engage a third party that will examine the current location and also give an independent view on the expansion of the runway and also the facilities, improving of the facilities in and around the Umroi Airport. That's number one, sir. Number two, sir, proposals have been sent to improve the current infrastructure around the Umroi Airport, especially for the approach road towards the airport and also for the land acquisition that is required thereof, sir. So whether this proposal is being sent, sir, is being examined, and how much time will it take for this current proposal to be approved by the government? And so one concern is because the rising pollution in the state and especially in the state capital, sir, the pollution testing centers have not been really very active. What we are seeing on the ground, sir, just by paying 200 rupees, we are getting the pollution testing certificates cleared by these centers, and they have just become money minting units for the people who have leased these pollution testing centers, sir. So this is a great concern, considering the growing populace and also the health of the citizens in the state capital and other parts of the state, where the failure of these pollution testing centers in carrying out their duties, it has become a menace and also a health scare for the citizens across the state, sir. So may I know the kind of activities that are being done by the department to ensure that these pollution testing centers are functioning properly and they check the vehicles on a regular basis to reduce the pollution that is happening in around the Shillong city and also in other parts of the state, sir. These are my three submissions, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to oppose the cut motion moved by the honourable member. So, but I would like to get for you clarification from the honourable minister regarding with the ISBT at Moyong, because on the day it came in the form of a question, we cannot ask more question on in this issue. So since the honourable minister have already been make a declaration in the House on the 1st April this year that ISBT will be operated and functioning all the business there in Maoyong. So may I know from honourable minister whether that all the commercial buses, because we have saw that many commercial buses coming from the whole northeast, even in the country, whether after the opening of the ISBT, whether the buses again will come to Shillong or will pack there in ISBT, sir. That is number one. And number two, sir, also we have already saw that many of the commercial vehicles coming from other part of the northeast, even in the state as a whole, coming to the city of Shillong, whether that also will be packing in that Moyong ISBT or again will come to Shillong, sir. And number three, sir, the intention of the government and the transport department after the shifting of the MTC from Police Bazaar to Moyong. What is the proposal? Because we saw in the press, in the print electronic media, and Mr. said that there's a proposal of construction of the shopping mall and the parking lot. So this is the we need to get the information from the minister. If he can give a clear reply on this, so that the people of the state will understand the intention of the government. So with this word, once again I oppose the cut motion move and member, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the cut motion tabled by other honourable member from Umroi. Just few points. I'd like to get complete clarity in view of absence of measures put in place to implement the various provisions of the mandate of MBA Act as amended. After the amendment of MBA Act, which was to be operationalized across the nation, the state government has come up with a notification. So I would like to have a categorical reply from the government through the Honourable Minister about all the measures which is required to be put in place. In fact, I have written a letter in this regard to the Chief Secretary, Government of Meghalaya, though I didn't get any response for my letter. And this also revolves around the precious revenue through various provisions of penalty under the MBA Act, relevant sections of the Act, to regulate the loading, overloading, or otherwise. And this notification is very clear. So I would like to get a concrete reply from the government. What are the measures that has been put in place to ensure that this mandate of the Act is enforced in letter and spirit, in the best interest of the state and the interest of the people? And if the measures have not been put in place, which seem to be the reality, then what measures will the government take to ensure that the spirit of the mandate of the Act is enforced on the ground? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
On the very outset, sir, I'm very grateful to the Honourable Member from Umroi, George, for bringing this cut motion in this August House, sir. I'm also very thankful to the other honourable members who have participated in this discussion. It provides us with an opportunity to discuss on the functioning of the Transport Department. Many points have been raised, sir, by the honourable members. I will be very brief and try to touch each and every point briefly, sir. So in regards of the Umroi Airport, Airport Authority of India, sir, has not moved for a new greenfield airport as of now, sir. No proposal was received by the department as of now. And even if we do receive it in future, sir, we will definitely look into it, sir, and look for the best solution. Because yes, Umroi Airport, from time to time, we have been discussing it in and out of the house, sir, because it's a matter of very much concern to the citizen of our state. So we will look into it, sir. If at all a proposal is sent, we will sit and discuss on this, sir, in future. There was a point raised by the honourable members, sir, in regard of the third party be involved in the checking of the feasibility of expansion of the airport, sir. But nothing has been initiated as of now, sir. There is no party initiated as of now to do this process. But yes, from time to time, the department has been planning or has been putting up various strategies and plans to expand the Umroi Airport for the betterment of the state. And we are still trying to do it, sir, whether looking for a new location or whether expanding it on the same location which is there. So whichever is the better solution, sir, considering the financial constraint we might have, considering the land constraint we might have, sir, we will look into it, and as much as possible, as fast as possible, we will try and resolve it, sir. In regards of the point raised, sir, the approach road through the airport. Very recently, sir, we have moved, the department has moved land purchase thing, sir, to get a land which will prevent us from flying through the airport. This matter is under examination, sir, and it will be soon be put up in the cabinet for approval. This particular initiative was done, sir, to prevent, because right now there is a road that is being moved by the public through the airport. So Airport Authority have been writing to us from time to time in regards of this, sir. And finally, we are able to initiate these steps to get a land and prevent the public from flying through the airport, sir. So this matter will be put up in the cabinet for approval very soon, and I hope that as soon as possible this will also be resolved, sir. In regards of the ISBT, sir, points raised by Honourable MLA from Meghalaya, sir. Yes, all interstate buses will be plying from the interstate bus terminals, sir, at Moyong. And in regards of other tourist vehicles, matter are still being examined, and we will look into it, sir, because yes, the number of buses, the number of vehicles in regards of tourists especially, sir, yes, it's a matter of concern because it's creating a lot of congestion in the city. So as soon as interstate bus terminal is full operational, these buses will be operating from here. But yes, sir, there will be some point where they have to transit through the city. That is a different matter overall. They'll have to cross the city, not go to the previous stand where they used to stand, but they will be operating from ISBT. But then the fact that they'll have to fly through the city to move, to the various destinations, that is a different part overall, sir. And there was a point raised also by the honourable member, sir, in regards of the use of the old MTC facility here in PB, sir. Yes, sir, there is a proposal that's been put up, which has mentioned by you a shopping mall. It's actually a multi-facility center, sir. It will have accommodations, it will have office spaces, it will have banquet halls, it will have shopping complexes, like you've mentioned, sir, yes. And as soon as these offices are moved to the ISBT, sir, the same will be initiated as fast as possible, and you will see the light of the day very soon in regard of this, sir. There was a point in regards of the pollution testing stations. Yes, sir, I totally agree with the honourable member. The testing stations that have been put up right now, sir, in the state, I totally agree that yes, we are very less in numbers. But let me inform you, sir, that initiative has been taken, sir, and there are a few stations which is already initiated to put up new stations, I would say, and this will also be taken up very soon, and we will make sure that, sir, I will make sure that this is also done very quick, as soon as possible. We will get it started. For example, in Riboy district, in the whole of Riboy, we have only one testing station, which is in Birnihat, if not mistaken. So there are another 3 more stations that has been initiated, sir, in various places of Riboy district, and I hope very soon we will be taking this matter, and it will be there, sir, to provide a better checking through these stations. Sir, in regards of the points raised by Honorable Elo, sir, so all measures are in one place by availing the checking stations and weight bridges at various designated locations, sir. We are doing our best to prevent this overloading and other irregularities in all these bridges, sir. So I hope I've touched almost all the points that have been raised by the honourable member, sir. And with this few submission, I would like to request the honourable member if he could kindly withdraw his cut motion, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, before the mover of the cut motion submits his sense in respect to whether to withdraw or otherwise, pertaining to the point that was raised is specifically in respect of the implementation of the MBA Act as amended in 2019. All the states were required to comply with and implement this provision by the 1st September of 2019. The government of Meghalaya, Department of Transport, has also given notification for the purpose of implementing the mandate of this Act as amended, White Order number TPT 55/2019, dated 14th of February 2020. Now, it revolves around not just the regulating the aspect of overloading and other things, but it revolves around road safety and other things. Because as we are aware, the number of road accidents across the state is quite in an alarming stage. Therefore, I would like to only make a submission that this particular notification, which is to give effect to the mandate of the Act itself as amended in 2019, and the compliance required to be the compliance from the state thereof, which is needed to as per the mandate, may be put in place in letter and spirit. I want a categorical assurance from the government in this regard, that this particular mandate of the law will be implemented in letter and spirit.
We will look into it, sir, and do the needful as soon as possible.
May I know the mind of the mover?
Sir, I thank the Honourable Minister, sir, for his attempt to attend to the concerns raised. So when we look at the proposal given by the Airport Authority in the Honourable Meghalaya High Court, sir, not to the department, of coming up with a greenfield project, sir, we also cannot look at this in silos, sir. The privatization of the Lokpriya Gopinath Bordoloi International Airport in Guwahati will definitely have its impact on the surrounding airports across the northeast, sir. Perhaps there is an attempt, sir, to scuttle the very efforts of the government to ensure better traffic flow to the Mumbai airport, sir, because we are seeing a lot of complaints after the Lokpriya Gopinath Bordoloy International Airport has been privatized, and huge number of fees and service charges are being imposed on the passengers that are utilizing the particular airport. So therefore, sir, looking from the economic point of view, perhaps the airport authority may not be in favor of expanding the other airports of the Northeast, therefore pressurizing the passengers to use the facility at Guwahati, sir. So this aspect, sir, even though it is not being backed up by critical data and information, but sir, the kind of discussions being had with various officers and people who are concerned with this, so we have to look at that aspect as well, so that we ensure that there is a third-party examination and to give the government a very clear view on how feasible it is for the Mumbai airport to be expanded. So that will give us a clear picture on the that part, sir. So having more pollution testing stations doesn't mean that more vehicles are being tested, sir. Even the current ones, my concern was that even the current ones who are in place, that are in place also, they are not functioning to the optimum. And they have become only money minting units, charging 200 to 300 rupees per vehicle, and then they get the challan or these coupons that their vehicles have been tested. Therefore, we're seeing the pollution around. And so, the current proposal to ensure that the infrastructure around the Mumbai airport is built up to the optimum, because we, as the Honorable Minister has already rightly stated, that there's a thoroughfare. So it was because of this thoroughfare that the flights also could not take off earlier, because there was no negotiation, and with the army was not relenting to give the land. So that took a lot of time. Now there's an internal road that allows the nearby residents to use the internal road which is in the compound of the airport. So therefore, sir, this needs to be expedited from the safety and security measures of the airport, and also for better facilities for the passengers that fly or use the Mumbai airport for the airport services, sir. So with these few more submissions, sir, I would thank the Honorable Minister for the attention given, and hopefully would look for an assurance to this particular submission, sir. So with these further submissions, I withdraw the submissions.